In this video, we will discuss the steps you, the debtor, should take in advance of your meeting of creditors under Section 341A of the Bankruptcy Code, also commonly referred to as your meeting of creditors or your 341 meeting, to ensure that you are prepared to participate in this meeting and that your trustee has the documents that they need to conduct this meeting. This includes 1. Making sure you have an electronic device and internet access you need to connect to the meeting, and an appropriate place from which to connect to the meeting. 2. Sending all required and requested documents and information to your trustee. 3. Informing your trustee of any accessibility services you may require. 4. Testing that you can join a Zoom meeting. And 5. Joining your scheduled 341 meeting early with all documents on hand. It is important to follow the timeline of these steps to allow time to resolve any issues you may encounter. First, plan ahead to make sure that on the day of your meeting, you have the necessary equipment and internet access and an appropriate location to participate in your meeting. The general expectation is that a debtor will appear at their 341 meeting by video via Zoom. To participate in a Zoom 341 meeting, you will need an electronic device, smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer with a camera, speakers, microphone, and internet access. If using a smartphone, the operating system will require the Zoom application be downloaded to the device. If using a tablet, laptop, or desktop computer, you can either download the Zoom application or use the Zoom website for joining a meeting. The free version of Zoom will meet all your needs for participating in your 341 meeting. If you do not have access to a device that meets these requirements, you may want to contact your attorney to see if they can assist you or consider reaching out to a family member or friend to borrow one. If you are unable to obtain one of these devices, please contact your trustee. In limited situations, your trustee may approve a telephonic 341 meeting. If that happens, you must submit the declaration regarding administration of oath and confirmation of identity and Social Security number form, which is located on the United States Trustee Program's Section 341 Meeting of Creditors Information webpage. In addition to having the technical ability to attend a Zoom meeting, debtors must attend their meeting from a place that is appropriate for a public meeting, is quiet, has stable internet and access to your selected electronic device, and allows you to appear by video and answer questions. There should not be anyone else in the room with you unless you appear from the same location as your attorney, your attorney's employees, or a co-debtor. Second, you or your attorney, if represented, should send all required and requested documents and information to your trustee in advance of the meeting. At least 14 days prior to your 341 meeting, or within the time frame requested by the trustee, you must send your trustee proof of your identity by providing clear copies of a government-issued photo identification and documentation of your Social Security number, or a written statement that such documentation does not exist. For a list of acceptable ID documents, visit the United States Trustee Program's Section 341 Meeting of Creditors Information webpage. Please be sure to send this documentation to the trustee in a safe and secure manner. Additionally, you should send your trustee certain financial information. Financial information that is generally required, unless the trustee instructs otherwise, includes evidence of current income, statements for each of your bank depository and investment accounts for the time period that include the date of the filing of your bankruptcy petition, including checking, savings, money market, mutual funds, and brokerage accounts, and documentation of monthly expenses claimed on your bankruptcy schedules, including additional food and clothing expenses, education expenses for a dependent child, home energy costs, and expenses that support a claim of special circumstances. At least 7 days prior to your 341 meeting, you must send your trustee a copy of your federal income tax return for the most recent tax year for which a return was filed, or a written statement that this documentation does not exist. Again, please be sure to send these tax returns to the trustee in a safe and secure manner. Finally, if your trustee requests any other documents or information, You should send this to the trustee in a prompt fashion. All documents must be sent to the trustee in a safe and secure manner. The trustee may provide more information regarding the preferred method of transmission of these documents. Do not send these documents by unprotected email or messaging. Third, please let your trustee know as soon as possible of any accessibility services you may require. The United States Trustee Program provides free foreign and sign language interpreter services at 341 meetings for individuals with limited English proficiency or hearing impairments. Although foreign language interpreters for most languages can be acquired the day of the 341 meeting, this is not the case for sign language interpreters. Therefore, if you require a sign language interpreter, please contact the trustee assigned to your case at least 1 week prior to your meeting date, if possible, so that preparations can be made. While it is not required, it is preferable to notify the trustee of the need for a foreign language interpreter in advance of your 341 meeting as well. Contact information for your trustee can be found on the Notice of Bankruptcy case or on the United States Trustee Program's Private Trustee Locator webpage. The day before your meeting, you should test that you can successfully join a Zoom meeting. We strongly recommend that the day before your scheduled 341 meeting, you test the electronic device you plan to use, your internet connection, and your ability to connect to a Zoom meeting. To assist you with this, the United States Trustee Program has developed Instructions for Joining a Zoom Section 341A Meeting of Creditors, which can be found on the United States Trustee Program's Section 341 Meeting of Creditors Information webpage. These instructions walk through downloading the Zoom application on the electronic device you plan to use to join the meeting, show how to test joining a Zoom meeting, and provide troubleshooting tips and detailed instructions for joining your scheduled 341 meeting. The day of your meeting, be punctual and prepared by joining your scheduled meeting early from an appropriate location with all documents associated with your bankruptcy on hand. Prior to connecting to your scheduled 341 meeting, find a safe and quiet place. It should be free from background noise. Then join the scheduled 341 meeting. Ensure no other person is present in the room, unless you are appearing from the same location as your attorney's employees, or a co-debtor. You should have on hand a copy of your filed bankruptcy petition, schedules, and statement of financial affairs, your original identification documents that you provided copies of to the trustee, all other documents, including financial information that were previously requested by and provided to the trustee, and your notice of bankruptcy case you received in the mail from the bankruptcy court. Please join the meeting 10 minutes before your scheduled meeting time. To join the Zoom 341 meeting, go to zoom.us/join or the Zoom application and enter the meeting ID and passcode when prompted. This information can be found on your Notice of Bankruptcy case. When prompted to enter a name, please enter your first and last name so the trustee can properly identify you during the 341 meeting. If you are having trouble connecting to your Zoom 341 meeting by video, please reference the Instructions for Joining a Zoom Section 341A Meeting of Creditors, including the troubleshooting and tips. After consulting the instructions, if you are still having trouble connecting, please join your 341 meeting by audio only and let the trustee know you are unable to join by video. Once you join the meeting, you will be placed in your trustee's virtual waiting room until the trustee admits you to the virtual meeting room. Please be patient and remain connected, as multiple 341 meetings may be scheduled for the same time, and so you may remain in the waiting room for a few minutes. Please be aware that the trustee may communicate with 341 meeting participants through the chat feature while they wait. The trustee may conduct periodic roll calls to confirm the participants who are present. Once admitted to the meeting room, please keep your computer's microphone muted and your camera off until your case is called. When your case is called, please unmute your microphone and ensure your camera is on and steady. Position yourself so that the trustee can see you on the screen and speak clearly. What to expect during your meeting of creditors. The 341 meeting is an official proceeding where you will answer questions under oath from your trustee regarding your bankruptcy case, schedules, statement of financial affairs, and other documentation that you have provided to your trustee. The trustee will administer the oath and make an audio recording of the 341 meeting. All other meeting participants, including you, are prohibited from recording the meeting in any fashion. Additionally, no one is permitted to photograph you or any party attending the Zoom meeting. All participants should present themselves in a professional manner and respect the formality and seriousness of the bankruptcy proceedings. At the beginning of the 341 meeting, the trustee will ask you to identify yourself and testify that you are the individual whose name and address appears on the voluntary bankruptcy petition as the debtor. Next, the trustee will review your ID documents and verify your identity and social security number if one exists. At no point during your 341 meeting should you display your ID documents on the video screen or otherwise disclose their contents or any other personally identifiable or sensitive information. If your trustee is unable to verify your identity or social security number, the 341 meeting will be continued to a future date and time. Once your identification is established, the trustee will ask you a series of questions regarding your bankruptcy petition and schedules, your assets and creditors included in the schedules, any previous bankruptcy filings, and any domestic support obligations you may have. The trustee will also ask whether you have read the bankruptcy information sheet, which provides certain information about the effects and consequences of filing a bankruptcy case and can be found on the United States Trustee Program's Section 341 Meeting of Creditors Information webpage. Please be sure to read this information sheet before your 341 meeting is called. The trustee may also ask you other questions about your financial affairs as they deem appropriate. Any creditors or other parties, including the United States trustee, if in attendance, may then ask you questions. After the trustee determines that the business of the 341 meeting has been completed, the trustee will formally conclude the meeting and you may leave the meeting by disconnecting from the Zoom platform. However, following the conclusion of your 341 meeting, you may be asked to respond to additional requests for information or documents by the trustee.